I'm sure you've all heard the news by now, so I'll keep it brief. In case you haven't, boy, do I have some news for you. Last night, the Woj bomb dropped. Malik Monk intends to sign a 4-year, $78 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. I'm gonna be honest, I did not believe it one bit when I first saw it. I don't know how many times I like double, triple checked that it was the actual legitimate Adrian Wojnarowski. He needs to change his name, bro. I just that's why he goes by Woj. Checked his Twitter like 5 times, made sure it was like actually coming from him, from the source. Um, and I know like everybody's talking about it like it's happening, and I know it is, but you got to understand. I had fully come to grips with the fact that Malik Monk had played his last game in a Kings uniform that night when Luca's fat ass fell on his knee. I was like, okay, this could be it. And when reports were coming out that he was going to make, he was going to get like $100 million offers from teams, I was like, dude, there's no way he's staying in SAC for $78 million because obviously that was the most the Kings could offer. And part of me still isn't letting myself believe it. Something about that word intense that's that Woj used in his tweet because I intend to do a lot of things that I don't end up doing. So until I see him like shaking hands or like holding that big check, I don't know how free agents do it these days. But all that doubt aside, what I'm really trying to feel, I haven't felt it yet, is excitement because I mean this is my favorite Kings player. Nobody makes me more proud to be a Kings fan than Malik Monk. What he brings to this city is, I mean, you can't even describe it. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I can't describe it because my vocabulary isn't that great. But dude, Malik Monk, he's a king for I guess 3 years with a player option on the fourth. But that's so exciting, dude. I mean, what a relief. Especially like him doing this before the draft helps out the Kings so much because now you kind of know what you got going into trade talks, into discussions. Maybe they do keep the pick and they do end up drafting somebody. Now you don't have to draft the fourth guard you've drafted in like 5 drafts. That'd be nice to get like a wing or a center or something. But yeah, you don't have to like operate out of fear. They can wheel and deal all willy nilly like. I don't even think I'm making any sense right now. But like when you go to the grocery store and you're in the middle of the aisle and like you realize you didn't even make a list and you're just like trying to remember what the hell's in your fridge. And you're like, shoot, I think there's some milk in there. Uh, but I'll just buy another one just in case. The Kings don't have to do that. They know what they have at home. They got Monk, Fox, Domas, Keegan all locked up, and now they can go and build around him, get the missing pieces. Who are those missing pieces? I don't know. This is a Malik Monk video, so I'm gonna stick to that. But a name we've been hearing a whole lot is Zach LaVine. I got mixed feelings about it, especially now that Caruso is off to OKC because I thought it'd be like a dream scenario would have been Caruso and LaVine coming to SAC, but yeah, now it's just like LaVine on his own with that contract. Not really super hyped about that. I'll be honest, but he is an upgrade, a very obvious upgrade over both HB and Herter. You could argue, who brings more value for the money that they're making, but I mean, Zach LaVine's a former All Star. He was an All Star just 2 years ago. He very well could have been if he hadn't gotten hurt like all of last year. Which that is another reason to be pessimistic about it all because he does have a little bit of an injury history. But we keep talking about the Kings needing to make moves. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want the Kings making the right moves. But if it ends up being Herter and HB for LaVine and maybe some like I don't know, maybe some picks involved, whatever, I'd be like pretty happy about it. I think. But like I said, this is a Monk video, so I'm gonna get back to that. 4 years, 78 mil for a guy like Malik seems like a steal to me. Like I said, I mean there were some reports that he was gonna get 100 mil. I think like the Pistons were thinking about offering him that, but maybe that's why it became kind of an obvious choice for him. He's like, shoot, do I go to the Pistons where I can make a bunch of money, but it's the Pistons, or do I go to the Kings where I can light the beam and stuff like that, wear cool colors, and go golfing a lot. I don't know how the golfing is in Detroit, but apparently Sacramento has some really good golfing. But another guy who I've heard a lot, and I'll talk about this real quick, is Kyle Kuzma. And I know we've been like hearing about him for probably 4 summers now. But something about this summer, I think the Canes, for the first time in a long time, are willing to kind of spend some money, wheel and deal, all those good things. And so I think uh, Kuzma becoming a Cane is a little more realistic now. And honestly, like I've kind of bought into it a little bit because he has good size. He's a good rebounder. I think as like the third or fourth option on the team, his like scoring output could be solid. But it would all rely on whether or not he buys in, and we can kind of, it's gonna sound bad, but like kind of control him a little bit, and like um, make sure he's not out there fooling around like he's been in DC with Jordan Poole. Don't mean to throw shade at those guys, but you've all seen the clips, seen the tweets, whatnot. Definitely an upgrade, like I said, over Herter and Barnes. And I think pairing him next to Keaton would be kind of a cool little like front court duo. But we can worry about all that later. For now, let's be happy and celebrate the fact that we just got the heart and soul of the Kings back. And dare I say, the heart and soul of Sacramento is back. He's back, baby. Malik Monk is a king, which is fitting because I don't know if you knew this, but Malik actually means